All right, everybody. So today we're going to show you the deficit stiff leg deadlift. And how come I am putting so much of it on the template? As you've seen, I do it once with a barbell, once a week with a dumbbell. So how come twice a week? And what is the difference between the two? So obviously with a dumbbell, we end up with a neutral grip versus a pronated one. And we can also keep the weight closer to the ankles. I don't think it makes that big of a difference between the two, honestly. But I like the neutral grip. It allows me a greater freedom in order to engage my lats. And as we're going to see, for me, this is the main reason for this exercise. So understand that this is an assistance exercise, so therefore it should be done with a specific purpose in mind. You're not going to be a world champion of stiff leg deadlift, right? So that the idea is that what are we using this movement for? And there are different ways of doing that movement. And what we're going to discuss today is that movement to address some of my deficiencies, right? And so in order to explain to you all a bit better as to why I do things. So first things first, what we're going to find very interesting right here, the first thing I want to show you is the bracing, right? So I want you to look here, this part of your screen. And what we're going to see is here. So the thing I don't want you to look at is this part right here. That is not what is interesting. What is interesting in us instead is the sides right there. So if I do this, yes, I see this part right here popping up. But what is more important, actually, is that what you'll see first is that you'll see this baby right here going out first. And the reason for all that is because I'm bracing not by pushing my stomach out, but by pushing my obliques out. That's really what I'm doing first. I am bracing through pushing out. And it's a very, very important part because that is the correct bracing. When you have a belt on, for example, you never want to push your stomach this way. That will blow up your back. Do not do that, you will hurt yourself. Instead, what you want is you want to push those babies out this way, right? That's how you want to brace. This way, right? This is the correct way, like you would receive a punch, basically. That's exactly how you want to brace, right? So that's the first part of the video. Second part of the video, as we see, is that a deficit stiff leg is in internal torque. So we see me hinge, and as you can tell, like that line that goes from my hip to my shoulder keeps turning correctly. So I don't know how to do that with the right angle with this, but pretty much I'm going to keep that straight line the entire time. Right, so we see the hinge up to here, so I'm hinging, up to this moment right here, And right here we can tell that this is the limit of my mobility, right? My hands are about mid-chins, something like that. This is the limit of my mobility. After that moment, what we're going to see is that we're going to see that we're going to see that this part right here versus this part right here is what matters. So I'm going to divide it right in the center, right? And what we're going to see right here is that when I get here, this part right here stops moving, like nothing happened at the hip level, and yet this part right here keeps moving. So from here to here, it's all back, right? So when I come down here, my hips don't do anything, and yet my back keeps moving. So is that what I want? Is that interesting, right? So without all the gizmo, here, my hips stop moving, and yet my back goes down. So what's happening right here? That means that it is my spine that is moving. Is that what I want out of the deficit stiff leg? So typically, this is where you would want to stop. So you go up and down, and then you would stop exactly at your range of mobility and go back up. So this is where we would see the exercise, lots of glutes, lots of deadlift. In my case, I am going to use the deficit stiff legs or medium deadlift, whatever, a little bit differently. What I'm actually using it for is this moment right here. It's actually from this moment on, so let me take this out. there. From this moment on, under. This is the whole movement for me, right there. So what do I mean by that? You can see how deep I am at the bottom there, right? That's really the bottom of it. So what is happening at that moment, right, is this right here. That part right here is what I want you to look at. I'm going to put the circle, and this is what we're going to look at. And right here at that moment, I am disengaging that baby. I am disengaging my lat from my hip. So that means that this part right here is disengaging from this part right there. So let me rephrase that. This part right here is disengaging from here. This is where the uncoupling happens. So here, lat is engaged, and as I do this, oof, I lose the tension. That's why you see my hips dropping this way. I lose the tension, and then from here, I gain it back. I don't know if you can tell, but if you look precisely at that right here, right? So this part right here, you can tell like I'm regaining the tension by doing that. So that means that I'm losing it. I'm losing the tension at the bottom. And that's exactly what I was talking about when I was doing the deadlift video last week, is that in those positions, I have a tendency to have a disengagement of the lat. And this movement right here is when I re-engage the lat from, to the hip. And this is crucial for the development of my deadlift. So that's why I do the deficit stiff leg deadlift the way I do it. And twice a week, once with the barbell, once with the dumbbell, is to actually develop that capacity, that connection between the lat and the hip, right? So internal obliques, external obliques, there's a number of things that go into all this. But if we look at it from a movement perspective, what we see is me working on that lat connection. Speaking of that, if I go slowly like this, I don't know if you can see it because it's fairly minute, but I'm actually shifting to the right. Like, I don't know if you see that, but see that? I'm actually coming this way. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm doing this really. I'm coming on that side. I mean, I don't know if it's quite minute, so I don't know if you can see it, but here to there, I'm falling toward us. See that? Like that slight rock, like basically I'm getting closer to us, right? That right shoulder is tilting toward us. You can tell because if you look at the hip right there, you'll see that it comes toward us. That's falling toward us right here. And you see it from my lats too. If you look a little bit, like my right shoulder is dipping and it's coming back up. So if I go normal speed, see like I'm dipping right there, like I'm losing it right there. I'm losing the right arm right there. I'm dipping toward the right. This movement is worse from the left, but we couldn't film from the left because there's all the stuff in the back, right? But that connection here on the right, I'm somewhat maintaining on this one, honestly, whereas on the left, I'm losing it even more. So, but this is why it's such a good exercise for me. So if we go there, as I do the last rep, I'm actually a bit better. So if we see the first rep, let me go back. Right, we're gonna see there, see that? Like look exactly here and look at this. You see like on there you can see the left side of my erectors and here you can't see it. See there, left and that. See how my left is dipping? Right. And you can tell because the right hand, if you look at this and there, the right hand doesn't move much, but the left hand moves more. See that? And see like, look at the hands. Like the left versus the right. See that? Donc, see I'm lifting that shoulder up versus the other one? That. Okay, that murders my back. That is really bad for my back, and that's exactly what's happening on the deadlift. That because the left, see that tilt? Oh, it's so obvious on that one, right? So as I reach here, like my left side, left lat completely collapses, so my left arm drops completely, and then as I want to go back up, I'm pulling on the right first. So you can tell that there's a twisting force that's going to happen this way on the deadlift. So you don't want that, right? So that's the first thing we're going to work. So how are we going to work that? By making sure that this connection exactly right here is strong on both sides. It is stronger on the right than it is on the left, but that's what we're gonna work on. So that's why this exercise is so important. So right there, I'm doing it 4 reps with 50 kilo on each hand, and this rep I was doing 140 kilos on the deficit stiff leg with the barbell. I'm going to try to work my way up. I'm going to go to 150 kilo this week because it is such a great exercise for me. And so you can tell from here to here, everything is easy. I can just pop. But from here to here is a nightmare. And so when I'm loading on the deadlift from this position, as I was explaining, and I get into my normal deadlift position, I do not have this part of the lat connected. So that's what I'm going to work on Thursday when I deadlift, is to, before I lift, to try to connect this part of my back to this part of my hip and lift from this position. I realize now, especially doing the work in the last few weeks, how disconnected I was there. I've always liked the deficit stiff leg deadlift. It has always worked really, really well for me. But I always wondered why it was such a powerful exercise. So whenever I deadlifted 620 pounds, so 280 kilos, it was after doing 6 weeks or 8 weeks block of deficit stiff leg deadlift. And now I'm starting to understand. I thought I was fixing my hammies through that block. Turns out that's not what I was fixing. What I was fixing was this baby right there. So it is a crucial movement for me, for my lats, in the way I do it. That might not be the way you want to do it, right? Maybe you doing it as a normal stiff leg deadlift, and in which case you would stop about here and then come back up and not do the last part right here, and then just do the up and down. There's nothing wrong with that either, by the way. That would be simply the way you would do. So you would do this and then come back up and go there. It's a great exercise for the hammies and the glutes. In my case, I am doing it for a different reason, and this is why you see me going so low on that movement, in order to fix that lat issue that I have. Cool. So any questions, comment, go ahead, bring it on, and then as usual, I will keep doing those videos. See you guys.